Hello friends, and welcome to CJoy Yoga online studio and wellness channel. And it is a few days after Thanksgiving, and most of us overeat during the holidays. So usually after a big holiday with overeating, I teach twist classes. Really great for digestion and elimination. So if everything's been a little sluggish in there, and even if you haven't overeaten for a couple of days, sometimes some of that will still stick around in the colon. So this is just going to try to help move everything around and get it moving so it can get the heck out of Dodge, right? Have a block if you have one for the first bit, but we're going to start lying down on our backs. And if you don't have a block, you can still find a home here, yeah? Don't let that be the reason, oh, no, I can't do it. Baloney, you're still going to do it, just don't have a block. So as you are lying down on your back, find a mini Shavasana or constructive rest pose, right? And let your main idea as you move into this be that A, your body is very soft, and B, your organic body is not at all compressed. It's wide open with tons of space to do its job. And then as you scan through the body, make sure those extra muscles that might be trying to help you out are not turned on. Take just a few moments in the breath. And what I mean by in the breath is you're just observing it, yeah? Maybe you feel that as the air enters and exits the nostrils, at the base of the nostrils. Maybe you notice the rising and the falling of the chest. Maybe you notice how the belly almost becomes inflated and deflates. And then we're going to start by working just really gently with the breath. You can keep your eyes closed here. All right. But what I'm going to have you do is you're going to inhale regular soft belly breath, right? But when you exhale, at the very end of the exhale like soft belly breath, no effort, but at the very end of the exhale, just gently pull the navel down towards the spine. Don't be crazy with that. So you're going to do that a few times. Inhale is soft belly breath or wave breath, right? When you exhale, it starts out that soft belly breath, and at the very end of the exhale, you just really gently pull that navel down towards the spine. And again, don't go crazy with that. We'll get bigger with motions as we go. Right now, we're just finding that little toning. Just starting to wake up our Agni, yeah? And then from there, we'll start to get a little bigger with our movements. Not too crazy big yet. Walk your feet back into hip distance or put your feet on the ground. Bring the right knee into the chest, and we're just going to start by hugging the right knee in just a little bit, and you might let the knee move away a little bit and then hug it back in. So just kind of pumping in and out. Your pelvis goes into a little bit of cat-cow tilt, more so cat and neutral, right? But then also the other thing I want you to pay attention to is that you're bringing compression down on the right side of your body. And we're specifically starting with the right side first because your ascending colon comes up the right side and it goes down the left, right? The descending colon. So we're going to try and move some things in that ascending colon up, right? And we want it to go up first so it can go over to the other side of the descending colon. So now go ahead and bring that down. Bring the left leg in. And again, you're going to interlace behind the thigh or the shin or whatever works for you. And then just do that light pumping action of the knee moving a little away and the knee moving back in. And again, just having that idea that we're now over on the left side, which other things are in there too, but your descending colon is down there. So we're just putting a little compression on that colon and just moving some stuff around. Again, just nice and gentle in the beginning. Now bring both knees into the chest. And as you bring them in, hands can go wherever they're comfortable. Just start to do a light rocking motion here from right to left. And keep the shoulders fairly still, right? Just so that it becomes more about your pelvis and your sacrum, kind of rocking back and forth. And if I had an MRI above you, I really love the idea of having something, being up above yourself, looking down and imaging. So, you would notice that you have that low back and sacrum kind of rocking, but right above that is a lot of your organic body, right? So we're just really gently twisting through the organic body. And then we're going to start to move a little stronger. So now you can leave your knees right here, or you can bring your legs up in a tabletop and put a block in between the legs. If you don't have a block, you are going to glue the knees together and do not let those knees come apart. Keep pressing in like you have a block. Not Suzanne Summer Thigh Master, but you know what I mean, Jelly Bean. Keep it in and don't let them slide around. TV arms out. Take an inhale, and with an exhale, the knees would move over to the right. If this feels too intense, knees closer to the chest is a modification, right? And come back to center. Don't go very far. Start really shallow. Exhale the knees to the left, moving into the block, keeping the heels the same distance as the knees, which is the same distance as the hips, coming back unless you're squeezing the legs together. Knees to the right. Now watch your knees. Don't let your left knee slide back off of your right knee. Maybe go a little deeper. Inhale, neutral. As you move to the left, try not to let the right knee slide off of the left. Again, you can watch it. You can see it right now. Inhale, back up. Now we're going to look the other way. Knees will go to the right, look to the left, pin the left shoulder down. But again, don't let that left knee slide back off of the right. Inhale, back, so you might go a little deeper. Knees to the left, look to the right. And again, this is not like, oh my God, I gotta do core work, I gotta get to the ground. Inhale. If I were to put an imaging system above you and you were to watch what's happening in your organic body right now, what would be happening in there? You're still moving, even though I'm talking, right? Try not to go too fast. Nice and slow and gentle, just encouraging the organs to let go of what no longer serve them, right? To create space for something new. So last one, wherever you are. You'll end by going to the left because I did coach us over to the right first. And then go ahead and you can either hug the knees in, you can remove the block. You can hug the knees in or put the feet on the ground and just pause, soften the abdomen. You can rock if you want to with the knees. And again, just bring your awareness specifically. We're in the abdomen a lot right now, yeah? Okay, so now we're going to intensify that, and you have the option of leaving the knees towards the chest. You can leave a block in there or not. You can stay in windshield, a tabletop, or you can extend your legs up. Now I'm going to put a block in between my calves to keep me honest. You don't have to do this. Flexing the feet, pushing the heels up. We have not stretched the hamstrings much, so you can just stay in tabletop if your hammies are like, holy crap. It's not at all about that. Right? TV arms out, inhale, and exhale. Keep moving into your block or holding your knees together. Turn the head to the left. Don't let the left heel or knee slide back. Inhale. I don't go nearly as low with this, but I have a lot more weight I'm working with, so it's more intense for me, right? Let the legs go to the left. You're going to turn your head to the right, pinning that right shoulder down, and really work the right heel and hip. They should be working really hard. And come back up. I'm going to add one more piece. We've got one more round here. As the legs go to the left or right, you're going to look to the left, and I want you to go ahead and see if when you come up, you can use the left side waist more than you use the right arm. And as the legs go to the left, you're going to turn and look to the right and pin the right shoulder down. Work that right hip. And again, try to use the right side waist rather than the left arm to come back up. Bend the knees, release the block if you're working with the block, and just pause, right? And by the way, if you do any tooting or anything like that, awesome. This is also great stuff for working with bloating that you may have from eating foods that your stomach, your body cannot digest, right? And so it sits in your colon and it starts to rot and cause gas. Super awesome, right? And breathing, and yet we still continue to eat these things. Go ahead and grab the backs of the knees and rock yourself up. I do too. Don't worry, it's not an accusation. Go ahead and let your legs come out in front of you. Let's say hi to the hamstrings briefly. Get nice and tall. You can bend your knees or sit on something. We won't be here long. Exhale and just begin to fold out over the legs any amount. And again, just providing that light compression in the abdomen. If your hamstrings are so tight you can't get it, you could bend your knees, and that way you still get the compression. You could put in a blanket so that the blanket comes up into your belly. right? So there are lots of ways that you can kind of get that just baby compression. It's nothing major. And inhale, reach the chest forward. We are going to do a couple of things from seated now, so if that makes you want to sit up on something, please do. You're going to cross your legs, and then this might be where you live, and you might just do the twist from here. I do have one more option. You might let that right heel come closer to the, oops, sorry. I want us to twist to the right first. So your left heel would come closer to your hip and your right foot would step over. Hug that leg with your left arm, bring your right fingertips back, get tall, and exhale one vertebrae at a time. Let it happen down low so you get into the abdominals, right? Not the muscles, I mean into all of the guts and organs that are in there. And again, if you're like, no, you would just sit cross-legged, maybe right shin in front, and you would work from this place, hand outside the right leg. And let's take about 2 more breaths. Don't get too crazy with the arms. Let it be an unwinding, right? A moving. A lot of teachers talk about how you can think of a sponge, right? And how if a sponge had something in it and you squished it out, it would be all ready for brand new fluids. So we could think of our organs getting flushed out when we twist them, and then inhale, turn back to the front. Now, as we untwist the organs, right, some new fluid, new blood, new oxygen, things can get in there. And let that go. Put the left shin in front if you're just simply doing Sukhasana. Some of my friends will bring the right heel over and step the left foot over and hug that left leg with the right arm. Left fingertips behind. Evidently, right lefts are difficult for me today. Inhale, get really tall, and then exhale. Again, start fairly low and see if you can't get those, the abdominal area engaged in the twist, right? Don't go crazy with that. Don't crank it. Again, if you've been eating a lot, give it time and just go nice and gently. It's been working really hard to try to digest a bunch of food that it probably doesn't digest very well. And again, don't take that as shame. It's not shame at all. We all do it, right? Myself included. Inhale and exhale, release, and just think of all that fresh fluid and blood coming into the area. Go ahead and release that. We're going to do a few cat-cows. So you can pad the knees or not, right? And from hands and knees, just start to reach the chest forward. And exhale, when you pull that belly up, you remember that breath we started class with? Really pull that belly up into the low back. And inhale, reaching that chest forward. And again, just moving with some of those pelvic tilts, but also just think of what's happening in all of your organs in the abdominal area right now, right? The digestive organs specifically. And I don't know, take maybe one more of those. And if there's any little bits and pieces, actually we'll take a couple extra breaths. If you want to go ahead and, roll the ribs or move the shoulders or the hips, or if there's any kind of, I always think of it as being kind of a little more animalistic. I know we're animals, but we don't always think of ourselves that way or act that way, right? Oh, I guess I could say we act that way an awful lot. We often don't associate ourselves as being animals. Come back to neutral. And let's take a child's pose for just a moment. If it's okay for your body to leave the knees in as you take this child's pose, you can. With this one, I like to bring my head up a little bit so I'm not, rounding the back of my neck too much. But whatever feels right for you. But again, if you can leave the knees in, do. But if that's not okay, let the knees go wide, leave the hips higher. But again, hoping that maybe we get just a light compression in the abdomen. And then play with the breath here, right? As you inhale, you'll feel your belly move into the thighs. And as you exhale, let those thighs move up into the belly. And if you're not making contact, remember you could put a blanket on top of your thighs to bring the thighs up to your belly. Now you might just stay here and reach your arms out nice and long, moving into active child's pose, and that may feel like plenty for you this morning. If you want to move that into a downward facing dog, go ahead and move that into a downward facing dog. Feel free to pedal the legs a little bit, right?
And remember, I'm going to be doing an hour-long Zoom class with twists, and you'll have access to that video. So you could just come for the full hour if you really want to get down and dirty with twisting and trying to get into the digestive system, right? But otherwise, this is just going to be a short little ditty just to start moving things around a little. Take another breath here. And then you're going to go ahead and you're going to bring the knees down. And go ahead and you can sit down in whatever way is comfortable. Sit up nice and tall. Feel free to sit upon something. And as you close the eyes and tune in, bring your awareness very specifically into your digestive organs. Now, can you feel your pancreas? Can you feel your stomach? Can you feel, I don't know. I mean, sometimes I can if there's like gurgling or gushing or whatever, right? But the more I do this work, the more I do start to kind of figure out where they are. Sometimes I think I can feel bits and pieces in there. But I do think bringing your awareness with the intention of trying to give them as much love as you can, health, healing. And I've probably shared with you before, but I come from the world of having IBS and really, really uncomfortable amounts of diarrhea for a lot of my life, and having it really affect what I can do, where I can go, things like that. So digestion has become an extremely important thing for me. And this asana practice is part of the puzzle of me trying to have healthy digestion. Bring those palms together in front of the chest, inhale. Exhale, bow the head in, and just take a moment of gratitude that we have these beautiful bodies and that we have these digestive systems that try their darndest, whatever we put in them, right? They try to digest it as best they can and take nutrients out of it and eliminate that which is not needed. We're just helping a little today. Namaste. May you be well. May you have a good poop today. Love you. Bye.